It's upside down because it's a metaphor for the show. Hi there. I'm Elliott C. Morgan, and this is The Study, brought to you by Squarespace. I apologize for not having an episode last week. I didn't want to. See, I was surrounded by beautiful women. They were all looking down on me as I bathed in a pool of vitamin water, and then one of them turned to the other and said, "Oh, I'm a feminist, so I'm voting for Hillary." Who knew vitamin water and blood mix so well? News? We're gonna do the news? We're gonna do the news. Police in Massachusetts are warning residents to be on the lookout for men challenging passersby to rap battles. The police said a black SUV containing a group of men in their late teens or early 20s pulled up next to 3 teenage boys and asked if they wanted to, quote, spit some bars. The boys declined and the SUV drove off. The police said it didn't appear to be an abduction, but the boys were frightened. Okay. Obviously, it wasn't an abduction. Do you know how boring it is kidnapping children with no flow? It puts the lotion on the skizzle, know what I mean? You're having fun. Stop it. This guy tried to rob a cab driver at gunpoint, but he didn't even look behind him to see a police officer right there. What a moron. Dude, he's a cab driver. He doesn't have any money anyway. Let's take a look.
You need your wallet and your phone. I need your wallet. No, please don't give me my phone. I need that for my... There's a cop behind us.
According to a study, Donald Trump uses grammar in his campaign speeches that is, quote, typical of children aged 11 and under. This differs from when Barack Obama uses grammar in his speeches that is, quote, really effing annoying. Bernie Sanders uses grammar reminiscent of 15 to 18-year-olds, which makes sense because those are most of his supporters. You know, children. I know what you're thinking, guys. These jokes are biased, but newsflash, so is logic. I want free college, and I want the butcher on Vine in Hollywood to get to work on my polar bear corpses, but no, he has ethics. The U.S. has declared that ISIS is committing genocide, which basically means the U.S. may have a moral obligation to further intervene in the Middle East. But yeah, let's get mad about a Kim Kardashian selfie. Here's a photo of Alan Rickman from 1964, which I saw on Reddit, posted by Pliny the Elder Wand. I'm giving credit because just as we are born alone, so too shall we die. SeaWorld has announced that the orcas they currently have in captivity will be their last, declaring that having them in captivity was getting a lot more negative press than when they just go out and hunt them for sport. A man in Texas claimed he discovered fossils from Noah's Ark in his mom's backyard. His mom replied, "Yes, Noah's Ark. Exactly." And then sidestepped away without blinking. And that brings me to today's contractual obligation, where I talk about an important matter in an important way. This segment is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace, you should. What's not to like about Squarespace, you guys? There's no coding required. Your website will look beautiful regardless of your skill level. It starts at $8 a month, and you receive a free domain when you sign up for a year of service. Plus, they have an intuitive and easy-to-use interface. Go to squarespace.com/thestudy and get 10% off when you use the code word study, which stands for Start Telling the Underprivileged to Die, Yeezy, via your stupid Twitter. Let's do a slideshow of hot babes and maybe put one in the thumbnail to capitalize on the hormonal imbalances of adolescence. We're doing YouTube. Talking to Howard Stern, the beautiful Olivia Wilde recently revealed the secret to getting ladies. Now, as a guy who has always relied on the classic pickup line, "Come with me or I'll bankrupt your father," this was news to me. I've always been curious how men less good looking than I continue to repopulate, even when not flanked by stacks on stacks. I once peered over a Pious Pauper's pewter and saw him posting pics of being a new father, and this guy owned not 7 but none jet skis. The world truly is a curious place. Olivia Wilde said the way Jason Sudeikis wooed her was at an SNL after party in which everyone was dancing except for her. Jason walked up to her and said, "Whatever you're looking for, you don't need it." Let's watch a clip of her talking about what I just explained.
He came up to me and he said, "You know, whatever you're looking for, you don't need it." And he walked away.
See, I find this fascinating for a few reasons. One, you can win a girl's heart with philosophy. The last time I tried that, I hadn't fed a girl in my dungeon for over a month, and I said, you know, food's more of an idea, and she spit at me, and I killed her. Still, there's a truth in Sudeikis' statement. Whether it's validation, money, someone's affection, an apology, maybe money's an exception, a better job, a great GPA, a college degree, a different president, or a more substantive online news show starring an even more attractive, filthier, richer caricature of a human, you don't need it. That's worth remembering. Happiness comes from the inside, just like poop. Thank you for watching The Study, brought to you by Squarespace. Antoine, who hasn't been here in a few weeks because he's not legal and scared of Trump. Also, shout out to Nectar Goya, or @NectarPayola. She was the first to respond to a tweet from @Elliott C. Morgan that said the first response gets a terrible shout out. Hey Nectar, what are you thinking with that outfit? You look like you shop at Welfare Mart. Follow me on Twitter for more chances to be berated. Goodbye. It's upside down because that's what the show is. See, there's sort of look up the word microcosm. It's like here's the spoon, here's the spoon, here's the ow, bzz, it's an airplane, bzz, clock's upside down, bzz, part of the joke process, because it's like when I say things, I can't.
We should stop. You look more like a murderer than a model.
Better job, a great GPA, a college degree, a different president, or a more substantive